Hello, I'm Coach Andy, and I'm making the second video to Frank to answer the questions he's been asking that he asked me in an email. There is a series of videos, and this is the second one. The first video was about the question Frank asked, "How can I attract the right girl for me?" The quote I used at the start of that video is, "The only thing I ever wanted was a loving wife to live and die with." And in this video, Frank talks about the girl of my dreams. And the question he asks is, "I can't believe she's mine. How do I deserve her?" So in this video, Frank has met the girl of his dreams. He found someone he loves and wants to love and wants to be loved by, but he's feeling less than and feeling like she is out of his league and too much for him. So let's get into the content. He always felt she was out of his league, even from the moment they met. He didn't ask her out, she asked him out. She was more intelligent, more kind, more beautiful, more confident than anybody he thought he could date. Certainly more than him. And he didn't know how to live up to that, to be worthy of that. He made sacrifices in their relationship so that he could prove to her that he deserved her. And it wasn't her who didn't think he did. She didn't need that proof. He did. So he kept trying to prove to her that he deserved her when it was him who needed the evidence. So he kept making sacrifices, giving her what she wanted, giving in to her and letting her have authority in their relationship, because he didn't figure he deserved her, and he thought she would leave if he didn't make sacrifices for her. For example, she didn't want him to talk about his past relationships or any of the friends from his past that she didn't like. She wanted him to be aggressive and protective against those who have or would hurt her from her past or in her present, and yet he wanted her to be gentle to her. And he didn't know how to do both of those things. He was a gentle kind man, so he didn't know how to be aggressive, and he didn't want to be aggressive and give up being gentle to her. She wouldn't let him do his hobbies, the things that he loved to do, because either she had fears of her own or because it took time away from her that she wanted him to do. So he would sacrifice those. She demanded that he be available for the things that she wanted, but offered little in return for the things that he wanted. When him and his wife talked about, or him and his girlfriend talked about their future, she eventually became his wife, but at this point she's just his girlfriend. And when they talked about their future, anything that she didn't like got left out, didn't get talked about. They both wanted family and kids. They both didn't enjoy dating, so they chose to skip that stage and just move right in together. But she didn't also want to talk about his dreams. She called them pipe dreams, unrealistic. She wanted to focus on what can happen right now, what she called reality. She insisted that they both just go get jobs and focus on building careers and forget about the dreams. Then they started having kids right away. They wanted to raise a family. They started raising a family. And she didn't see room in there for him to follow his dreams or pursue his hobbies. She wanted a serious family, a relationship, an adult family. And he didn't see room for him to be himself in there, so he sacrificed them. When she found his pornography stash, his stash of magazines, his collection of videos that he'd kept. She confronted him and demanded that he get rid of them immediately. And because he didn't want to lose her, he gave them up. He didn't know how he could live without them. They were a device he used to control his sexual urges. And he didn't know how to do that without pornography. Yet when she demanded he got rid of them, he did get rid of them, at least on the surface. He would go get more and then get rid of those whenever there was risk of her finding it, or God forbid she actually did find them. And then he started believing that he was even more less than her, because he had this pornography. So in their relationship early on, he started feeling less than her. And because he felt less than her, she started demanding things of him, and he didn't make any return demands or requests even. And that set them up for a relationship where he was always trying to catch up, where he was always trying to prove his worth and prove it to himself more than her. She didn't think he was less worth than him. He just had some characteristics that she wanted him to change. And he didn't ask her to change any of her characteristics. They didn't compromise. He didn't figure he was worth compromise. So they didn't go through a lot of that evolution and trial and error and discovery that a lot of couples go through. They just discovered a lot of his faults, and he tried his best to get rid of them. That was the part of their relationship that should have been the honeymoon stage. My answer to that is to define who's in your league. The first question was from the moment we met, I thought she was out of my league. So who's in your league? What is your league? What do you deserve? Who is the kind of person that understands who you are and gets it? Who is beautiful enough for you? Who is confident enough for you? Who has the characteristics you desire in a woman that you figure you can deserve? You won't get your dream girl until you become the man who thinks you deserve her. You won't attract a woman of your dreams until you become the man of your dreams. So what does in your league mean? Maybe change your league, or maybe come to the idea that there is no league, that any man can have any woman. When you find value in yourself, you can stand up for what you want instead of making sacrifices. Now, that doesn't mean we'd never make sacrifices, but it means that in a relationship, both sides make a few sacrifices, and both sides get a lot of what they want, and both sides compromise. When you know who you are and you find value in who you are, you know which of those things that you don't want to compromise and which of those things you're willing to compromise. Which of those things are a part of who you are and which of those things are malleable, changeable, evolvable. You put boundaries around the things that you won't compromise, and you put boundaries around the things that you will compromise, to show where your own value is and to show where you value this other person in the relationship with you. Boundaries help you do that. Holding on to your value valuing yourself and putting up those boundaries gives that other person someone to actually love. If we have boundaries and we hold to those boundaries, if we have value in ourselves, that other person, the partner that we're trying to make a relationship with, will see our worth and will find something in that worth to grab onto, to love, to appreciate, to want, to make special about you. And you want that. That's what makes you unique. That's what makes them fall in love with you, and not just the idea of being in a relationship. Our dreams. Sacrificing our dreams sacrifices our core self. Our dreams are a way that our subconscious mind tells us what we want to fix in the world, what we like or don't like about our lives. Our dreams help us find a hope in the future. Our dreams are what define our squishy insides. It's in our dreams that we find our own value. Sacrificing those dreams, we sacrifice ourselves. The dreams we hold on to, the dreams that we keep, the dreams that we build, the dreams that we work towards, those dreams give our partner something to work with us on. If you have a dream home, maybe your partner does too, and you come together and you make a dream home together. And now you have something for both of you to work towards. If you have a dream life, a dream vacation, a dream place to live, a dream family, if whatever dreams, a dream business, whatever dreams you have, if you have a dream, keep it. It lets you build something. And if your partner shares that dream, you can build it together. And if your partner doesn't share that dream, they can help you build yours as you help them build theirs. That's what partnership is. That's what relationships are. When we sacrifice that one thing that they need us to sacrifice, that they need us to change, when we agree to give up pornography, drinking, drugs, gambling, when we agree to give up a vice that we have because they demand it, we are giving up ourselves and our authority over ourselves. We are choosing to be subservient to them rather than doing it for ourselves. If you didn't choose to give up those things before you got into a relationship, why should you choose them for the relationship? If you're not good enough to lose those things, why is your relationship more valuable than you are? I might suggest that those things might be bad for you, but they might not. A lot of healthy people have drinks here and there. A lot of healthy people use pornography. A lot of healthy people go gambling sometimes. If yours is out of control, there's help for that. But you decide if it is, not your partner. If they can't handle the problem you have, if they can't deal with the problem you have, they're not your dream girl. They are someone you fell in love with, someone who fell in love with you. But if they need you to change these habits, they are not the one. They're not your dream girl. No matter how beautiful, intelligent, and confident she might be, there is someone better. But there's probably many someone betters. And what you have to do is work on yourself first. Decide, is it an addiction? Is it a problem? Is it something you want to change about your life? If it's not, don't do it for her. If it is, then do it before you get into a relationship. If you have an issue with pornography, or booze, or drugs, or anything else, and you decide you have a problem, then you get to fix it. She doesn't get to tell you what to fix. You do. She can support you. If you have been trying to fix or making moves to fix an issue in your life, when you get into a relationship, she can certainly support you and help you and guide you, not guide you, but assist you. She can help, but she doesn't get to decide for you. That's subservience, not a partnership. If you're in a relationship and you have the girl of your dreams, examine, is she the girl of your dreams? Does she have the qualities you want in a woman? Or is she just the most beautiful person who has decided to love you to date? Is she just the first person who came along and said yes, that is out of your league? And clearly you couldn't get anybody that good ever again. Examine, is she just good enough for now? Because if that's what she is, then sure, date her, learn some lessons with her, fall in love with her, and see if you can make it work. But don't sacrifice yourself in doing so. And if she demands that you sacrifice herself or she'll leave, let her go. You are not worth losing you for in a relationship. There'll be nothing left for her to love if you do, and she will leave anyway. You have to hold on to the parts of you who define who you are. You have to hold on to your own authority, your own choice. You can't defend or protect those that you love if you have no authority. You can't provide or assist or love those in your life if you have no self-worth, if you're not good enough, if you don't deserve her. So decide, do you deserve her? And if you do, figure out how. And if you deserve her, then you have the authority to compromise. But so does she. That's how you keep the girl of your dreams. I'm Coach Andy. Let me know if anything in this conversation lands with you. And if there's anything further you want to talk about, let me know. I'm here.